Hey, Mike, what do Kelly Slater and PT have in common?
I don't know. They're both world champs?
Nope, they both own Endless Summer box set.
Oh my God, rad. You guys, you can get it too. The link's in the show notes. Welcome back, everybody, to the QuiverCast. This is Mike, your host, and this is all brought to you by YourAudioLegacy.com and QuiverBuilder.com. And please check out my other podcast, The Stinky Booties, I do with my buddy, Billy. Let's roll. Hello, everybody. This is Mike here with the QuiverCast. And today's special guest is Chris Abad, like the staple of Oceanside kind of surfing. What's up, Chris? How are you?
Doing well, thanks.
Is that a good introduction?
Yeah.
Did you kind of have your hands in everything in Oceanside, surfing-wise?
Yeah, I like to be involved and try to do as much in the community just to keep things exciting and fresh and involved. And
Okay.
yeah.
So you like community?
Yeah. I think it's a major thing for most people, for anyone young coming up or someone older and retired that wants to hang out and enjoy where he lives or where she lives. So
Okay. So let's talk a little bit about some of the things you're involved.
yeah.
Okay. So the first thing is you took over the high school surf team for Oceanside High.
Yeah.
So let's totally talk about that. How's that going?
Good. I love the kids, man. They I guess, was it 3 years ago, the coach left, right?
Yeah.
And then I was just getting into real estate and stopped working in the action sports industry. And then I just had some free time and, the kids needed a coach. So I knew a handful of them, and it just seemed like something that would be good for the kids, good for me, good for kind of the community. And yeah, so 3 years later, we're still trucking away, and we practice every Saturday, and the kids are ripping. I mean, it's pretty awesome to see all the young kids surfing well and a lot more than I feel like there used to be.
Okay.
So
what do you mean, like keep more heads in the water?
Yeah.
How many guys are they trying out for the team? How does that work?
So we don't really have tryouts. I try to get as many surfing in the contest, but there's limited spots. So But it seems to always kind of work out with having the people that want to surf be able to surf in the contest, or at least do one or two a season.
Okay.
So.
And how's that? How you guys doing? What's the results?
Good. We we had one shortboarder in the final in the first contest. We just had in Ocean Beach. That was
How the waves?
Luke Rebendorf. He was ripping.
Yeah.
Waves were fun. And then we had I think we had a girl make the final in the shortboard and longboard, and so we did okay. I don't think we did our best, but but I think the next one's at the harbor, so we'll do better there.
Oh, home.
Sure. Yeah.
Does the home make an advantage?
I think so. Yeah, they enjoy surfing the harbor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you can roll out of bed and just show up.
Yeah, pretty much that too. So.
Yeah. Okay. And then board riders, you're heavily involved in that.
Yeah. We
for Oceanside board riders.
Yeah, Oceanside board riders. My title is the secretary.
Yep.
Which is funny. I might have to work on that name. Yeah, but so I just try to I feel like I'm the team cheerleader, kind of get everyone going and involved. And we started right before COVID, I think maybe a year or less before COVID, and then COVID kind of stunted all that and the progression we had, and the speed we had going forward. And then we kind of rebooted it this summer. But yeah, man, I wish I had more time for it.
Okay. But you're in charge of all the events and stuff, and they're a huge success.
Yeah, we do.
You do the events?
Yeah, I wouldn't say I'm in charge. I grew up, in the surf industry, in the action sports industry. I did a lot of events for a career, so it was something I kind of know how to do. So I just kind of, relayed that into the events we do for Oceanside Bull Riders. But the one I'm heavily involved in is the golf tournament that we do annually, and that first started when I broke my neck, and a couple of local guys did the golf tournament, and I think they put it together in 2 weeks.
Right.
And so since then, after that one, they were like, everyone's like, what, are we doing another golf tournament? And I was like, I don't know. So I guess so. So we So we kind of put it together, and then once we started Oceanside Board Riders, kind of turned it into a board riders event and a fundraiser for, either for the club or for someone in need. So
yeah, it seems like it always goes to a good cause for sure.
Yeah,
and it's packed, right?
Yeah, that's the goal, man. We pack it out. It's I think we hit almost 140 golfers. I think,
wow.
This last year, and we just had it a few months ago, and it was awesome. So
it was like Goat Hill now. They like the surfers golf course.
Yeah, pretty much.
Pretty much everywhere, right?
That should be like their slogan. But, yeah.
And then you guys even run events up there, even like after, like just using their property.
Yeah.
I guess I'm involved.
Yeah.
Not involved. I'm in the club.
Yeah, we do like usually with the golf tournament we do like a raffle kind of party.
So it was raging this year.
It was the biggest one we've had for sure.
So how many people were there? You think?
I don't even know, man. Maybe
1,000 at least.
Well, it was funny because there's a new manager there, and he's a nice guy. But I was like, hey, there might be like 300 people, 400 people.
Oh,
he's like, he laughed. He goes, no way. I was like, well, I'm not good at like guessing the number, but I'm like, could be,
Yeah.
Because it was for a good cause. Our friend Jameson passed away.
Yeah.
That was involved in the surf community. Yeah, for sure. But it was just the timing was just so easy to, have the funds we raised donated to him. But I didn't know how many people we were gonna have, and I ended up getting a couple bands to play, and we kind of like made it a little bigger.
That was raging.
And it was raging, yeah.
It was
and he was blown away. He's like, oh my god, he wasn't ready for all the people. So
at least double to triple that.
You think so?
There was so many people.
Yeah, it was.
I don't know. I didn't. Hundreds.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
If not 1,000. Maybe that's 1,000's over exaggerating. But they're parked all the way down to the street.
Yeah.
On the hill.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
It was crazy.
Right. And then, so as the secretary, so you guys all chip in, everyone on the board, or not on the board, like.
Yeah, so we have like board members. We have
Yeah.
I think there's 9 of them. 9 of us. I think 9, and we just kind of have a group text. We chat, and we try to meet. Now we try to meet about once a month.
Okay.
And just kind of just organize our thoughts, get ready for the contest coming up. We try to plan as many beach cleanups or events or practices as we can. And we're still kind of, I think, gaining momentum. And once the contest starts, I think more people are going to think of Oceanside Board Riders and want to do things, and that gives us motivation to do more stuff for the community. And but we just had our first practice.
Yep.
For the season. That was pretty awesome at the harbor.
Did you surf it?
I didn't actually. I was coaching and yelling at people.
Okay. Is that more fun?
No, it's fun. I enjoy like helping, kind of get everyone like to where they need to be. You know, because I think it's important to have some kind of like camaraderie and passion for like being or living in Oceanside or being part of the team, and we want to do well. And we're one of the newer teams, so we have a lot to learn. And I mean, even me, I've been doing tag team events for a long time, and I still, I think the last contest I screwed up pretty bad, and it's just something you need to like practice and learn. So we're excited to do more practices and get everyone kind of ready to go for the first contest.
So have you surfed in the event?
I've surfed in the events.
Okay,
yeah. I think we've only had 2.
Okay.
Which was, and then they canceled the season because of all the COVID stuff.
Yeah.
But I think we didn't do well. We didn't do well. We didn't do horrible, but we just made these mistakes because not really anyone has surfed that type of event.
Format?
We really didn't. Yeah, that format. We didn't really do any contests, and it was just we're going to learn from it and do better. But we have a pretty solid team, a lot of good surfers.
Like a lot of good surfers. And then on top of that, though, it's a good vibe for the city and for all the guys in the water. Yeah. Especially like South Hill guys and like the harbor guys. Sometimes they don't see each other.
Yeah, totally. It is kind of funny. But yeah, I think it's overall, it's the contest portion of Oceanside Board Riders is just really good because one, I think a lot of the younger surfers need those, the coaching, kind of the structure, people to look up to, and something they want to be involved in, and they can be involved in kind of through their life. And then a lot of the older guys are just as pumped. I mean, they want to be. They want to surf, they want to, compete, or they want to, have something to look forward to and get motivated to just to be in it and be involved.
For sure.
It's pretty cool.
I talk to,
Yeah, so it's fun, man. It's it's a cool thing to build and see where it goes in the future.
Okay. So how'd you start surfing? What motivated you even want to board and get going?
Well, my dad surfed, my uncle surfed, my mom's whole side surfed. So,
really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So I probably started when I was, I don't know, 4 or 5. I couldn't really remember. Not really. I have a weird memory of I don't know if it was my first wave, but I remember taking off on a wave, and I think it was at Trails.
Okay.
I think we were camping at Trails.
Okay.
In San Clemente.
Yeah.
Or on base.
San
Onofre, yeah. And I remember just going straight down and basically going into the sand and rolling into the sand on the shore break. But it was a long time ago. So I kind of always surfed.
All right.
It was always near the beach. But
so when's your first memory of totally getting it then?
First memory was... go on.
Well, I guess my first question... Well, that question along with the rest of your family, were they pushing you? Does that make sense?
Yeah. So my first memory surfing, I think it was... My first good memory surfing was... I had a pretty stubby, thick... I guess it was a shortboard, glass on fins. It was a Becker.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, from LA. My whole family's from South Bay.
Oh, okay.
So, but it was a Becker, and I was surfing at Old Man's. Mm-hmm. And we were there, and I think it was for my dad. My dad and all his high school friends used to do a thing called a Bro Fest, and they'd camp for a weekend and just all surf and hang out. It was the coolest thing ever. And I remember. I still think of it as being one of the cooler things. Yeah. And they'd make tank tops with funny logos and stuff. Okay. But I remember surfing out at Old Man's, and I remember just doing these S carves on these waves, and I thought I was so good. Yeah. But that was I was oh yeah, this is.
Is that when it really caught on for you?
Yeah, I think so. Pretty early on, yeah. And I feel like I don't have any good real surf memories until I started going in junior high to my friend's house, Anthony Anderson's house. That he lived at Terramar. Oh, okay. And so we'd surf the little right and the little left. I'd go there for a week in the summer and basically surf all day. Okay. And I remember I still had my Becker, and then he had a real shortboard, and I rode that, and I was that was kind of the next. I was wow, okay.
Next step up for you.
Yeah.
So did you go home and beg for a board like that?
I probably did. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah. So I've been surfing forever, but there's definitely steps that kind of.
Okay. Yeah. And what about the rest of your family? Your siblings or anything? Yeah, I got two younger brothers. And they both surf? Yeah, they both surf. Greg, he's the middle one. He's a year and a half younger than me. He surfs really well, and he surfs quite a bit. And then my youngest, Jordan, he might be 7 years younger than me, but he doesn't surf that much. He went the soccer route and kind of did that, but he still surfs, in the summer more. Is your parents still surfing? Yeah, my dad probably. He might surf a couple times a year. He doesn't surf. Okay. He's more in the soccer now, but he was surfing quite a bit more when we were growing up. But yeah, and then my mom's side, they grew up in South Bay, and she had three brothers, and they all surfed, and so it was kind of. So ingrained. Were you guys all paddling out together, and surfing it? Or how'd that go? I would go surf. No, I didn't really surf with my uncles. Okay. But my dad, mom and dad. Yeah, my dad we'd go to a lot. We'd go to Terramar a lot. Oh, okay. In between Warm Waters and Terramar. Mm-hmm. It's just kind of a good beginner spot. I don't even know if there's a name for that spot, but by the power plant? Yeah, kind of power plants. Yeah. Okay. So we'd go there a lot, and then once I started getting more surf friends, junior high, high school, for sure high school, probably junior high, I started surfing more the pier. Okay. So then you started just Oceanside 100%. Yeah. Okay. What about friends pushing you? Do you remember the first you guys talk smack to each other? How did that go? No, let's see. I'm trying. We used to just go have fun. Yeah. Okay. I think when I started getting pushed, I didn't really do contests until high school, and that was we had a pretty good. I went to Vista High School because I lived inland Oceanside, and we had a pretty solid team, a lot of surfers, and that was kind of where I started getting motivated to actually surf and compete and do maneuvers and. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. So that's where kind of it all. Who are some of the guys on the team in high school? See, Aaron Coyle, Scott McBride, Mike Poole, Matt Merrill. I'm trying to think who else.
handful of other guys, but we were pretty good.
All pushing each other?
Yeah, Scott Seaver. Yeah, we were pushing each other. We did really well. We were in a lower division, I think, so we didn't really surf against Oceanside, but in the championships we would.
Yeah.
I think at the harbor, a lot of times it was at the harbor, and I remember one year we beat San Clemente, like the
Really?
Kudaskas brothers. Yeah,
good.
It was pretty sick. So we beat like San Diego.
Oh yeah.
So we did pretty good. Like it was weird.
And it was a shocker for them. You think?
Yeah, for
Like,
sure. Because
they're
Vista
like-
wasn't. Yeah, I mean, a lot of good surfers before me came from Vista, but kind of after our little. At least when I was in high school, it kind of there hasn't been really a surf team or surfers that I know of from Vista that, or at least a big group of them like us. But
Okay.
we were at the pier every day. And,
Yeah.
it was fun. So it was nice to have that.
Okay. And those guys you're still friends with now, right?
Yeah. I still surf with them almost every day. Like, yeah.
So how does that feel?
It's good, man. I'm blessed with some good friends. So
these are friends like you've had since childhood.
since like a couple of them I've known like since junior high, and then all of them we all went to high school together, and we still try to get each other out of bed and go surf. And,
Okay.
hey, are we surfing tomorrow? What are we doing? So
That's actually a great question.
Yeah.
How many guys you were surfing with like in high school that don't surf anymore? And do you ever like razz them? Or is it most of them
most of them
kinda
still
hung out?
surf. Yeah,
Oh,
we
that's
still
rad.
surf. At least my close friends.
Okay.
We still surf, man. We go on surf trips like all together. We go to we try to go to Mexico. Not as much anymore, but we still get a surf trip in probably once a year.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and then we surf weekly.
Okay. So, where's some of the places you've been? Have you done like extensive travel?
Yeah, I've been to Bali twice.
All right. How's Bali?
Sweet. Yeah, it's a paradise for sure.
Would you move there?
I wouldn't
Okay.
in my current situation,
Yeah.
but I can see why people would move there for sure.
For the waves?
Waves and
What about
just
the lifestyle?
lifestyle, cost of living. And,
Oh, yeah.
it's beautiful. Yeah, so Bali, I just did an Indo boat trip a couple years back.
How was that?
Which was pretty cool. We it was a good and bad experience for sure.
Okay.
We got average waves,
All right.
which was still pretty good.
Yeah, probably epic.
But not good for there. And then we had some boat troubles, so we ended it early, and we couldn't move around like we wanted to. But I think overall the winds were average, and
Okay.
but it's still you're getting amazing waves. Just not as barreled as we wanted to get.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
But like more like fun, like riverboat?
Yeah, for sure. Well, like macaronis that left there, it's like it was maybe head high and kind of blown out most of the time, but it was just so rippable.
Really?
Yeah. It like you almost didn't have to try. It was weird. It's just so rippable. It's hard to explain. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, like unlimited speed and just perfect slope of the wave. And
Would you go on another boat trip again?
yeah, for sure.
So
I
what
would.
happened? The boat break down?
One of the motors, I think, went out, and then they didn't want to go. They didn't want the other motor to go out, so we just
Yeah.
didn't really go too far. We tried to fix it. We went to this little like water world town. I don't even know what it was called, in the middle of the ocean, and they didn't have the parts to fix it. And it was just kind of drug on through the trip, at least for sure, like the back half. But I would for sure go. I love adventure and traveling and surf. So yeah.
So that was like a fun adventure or like a stressful adventure?
Both, but in
And
the
you
end,
don't want to
it's
be
great.
stuck in the middle of the ocean.
No, you don't. So
no
it's
engine.
like, yeah, you definitely don't. But it was, I loved it. It's, hanging out with your friends and surfing and
Okay.
is the best thing ever, right?
Yeah. All right. And then where else?
I just did Nicaragua. Gosh, was it this last year? Yeah, this last year.
Okay, how was that?
In-
Is that your first time there?
First time there.
Okay.
And I'm bummed I haven't been
Really?
before, man. That place is dreamy too. It's
Is it?
perfect. Yeah.
Okay.
Offshore all day. It's like hard to beat.
And warm water?
Warm water and barrels and
Would you go to Colorado's?
yeah, we stayed
Okay.
right there on the water. It was pretty epic.
And reasonably priced? Or is it
Yeah,
expensive?
well, it's both. You can depends how you want to do it. We were there for a bachelor party, and we kind of just went all out.
Okay.
So
Fun.
we spent a lot of money on the house,
Okay.
or not a lot of money, but more than I guess the most amount of money you could probably spend there.
Okay, yeah.
But you can probably do it cheap and still get the same waves. So
Right on.
yeah.
Okay.
And then I did Hawaii a lot when I
Okay.
was
How
working
was
in the industry.
Hawaii?
I love it. Yeah.
Now, let's talk about Hawaii and the industry.
Yeah.
You went there for work?
Yeah, I was going for work. Like, my first handful of times I was doing it because I was trying to be a pro surfer. And,
Okay. So how was that? Getting pushed in and stuff. Were you getting pushed? Or were you
yeah,
pushing
for
yourself?
sure. I didn't go too crazy, but
Okay.
I got pushed to, well,
So let's talk about, like, mentally, you making yourself go out, and it was kind of like,
yeah,
did you
for
ever have
sure.
those thoughts?
Yeah, for sure. Well, I'll tell a funny story.
Okay, tell a story.
So when this was probably, I probably just graduated high school.
All right.
It's probably like 18, 19. Joey Brand was coaching some of the Billabong guys and coaching around town.
Okay.
And I was jumping into some practices, and he's basically like, if you want to be a pro surfer, you got to go to Hawaii. And he kept telling me that, and I was like, okay, I'll figure it out. I'll get over there. And I was riding for Quicksilver through Surf Ride, so it was kind of like a rep ride, or like not even like a. They gave me travel fund, but it wasn't like a full sponsorship. And one of my friends, Justin Quirk, was on the North Shore, and he just got a cover on Surfer, and so they were paying him. He was part of the surf team.
Yeah.
And he was staying over there, and I don't know who, I think I just asked him, like, hey, could I come stay with you? And he's like, yeah, and I just showed up.
Cool.
I literally showed up at the Quicksilver house, like the second Quicksilver house by Off the Wall, across the street from Off the Wall, and with my board bag, my roller, and I just kind of just showed up, and then Strider ran that house, and he was like, who's this kid? Like, what do we... And they probably called the rep and called him like, why is this kid here? And they like let me stay.
That's
I ended
cool.
up staying for like 2 months,
Nice.
2.5 months, and that was a crazy good experience. It was so cool.
Okay,
And
so
I was like,
how was that house?
it was cool. It was just a compound with all the younger up and coming Quicksilver riders, and I just whatever room was open, I was like, there was a bunch
Were you
of
moving
rooms.
around?
Yeah, I just move around, and
Okay.
some of the top bigger guys would come in, they'd take the good room, and then.
Would they just like literally say, "Get out of here, Grom"?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Yeah. So,
What's some of the names there? Are you allowed to say?
yeah. Let's see.
It was like
There
Tom
wasn't
Carroll.
like Tom. No, a lot of the guys that were in that house weren't like the top guys. They
Okay.
were like the guys, QS guys from Australia, people from Europe, and then some.
But you knew who they were, so you're kind of stoked to even get to meet them.
Yeah,
right?
for sure. Yeah, I mean, I ran into and hung out and partied with and got mean mugged by some of the crazy stories. So I had drinks with Aki and
How was that?
Oh, fun, man. He's just saying some crazy stuff, drinking gin.
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
We had a pool table. Freddie P was sponsored by Bud Light, and he dropped off a pool table, and he dropped off cases of beer all the time.
Oh,
so we played
rad.
pool, and Aki came over one night randomly because, Jake Patterson's brother, Ant-Man, he's
Okay.
like a water safety guy, kind of a big wave guy. He would stay at that house and kind of help run it, and he was friends with Aki was friends with him.
Okay.
So they were but we'd have parties all the time. It was like all
What
pretty
year
much
is
young
this?
kids. I don't even know. Let's see, I graduated 2001, probably like 2002, 2003.
Okay.
It was like during the time when like Kala was
So kind of
slapping people, and it was just kind of a wild time on the North Shore for sure. There wasn't a lot of like kids from California.
Oh, there
or, like,
wasn't?
no, not at all. It was kind of.
How'd you find your place there? Like, were you like in the background, or were you like up
kinda
front
just
being crazy?
No, it's kind of background. Like,
Okay.
yeah, like if I was going to some house for a party, I'd kind of be on the side. And
Okay.
but that was the time when like they had what do they call those that group?
The Dahui, or
It was a part of the Dahui. I forget the name. I'll remember it in a second. But it was
Okay.
like Kala, and they'd whistle people out of the water and like beat them up on the beach and stuff. It was pretty wild.
Really?
Yeah.
So-
Kala came to our house one time. I remember.
Were you trying to make friends with him?
No,
Or you
no.
just,
I
like,
just
stand on the wall?
head down, say hi.
Yeah.
But one time he came over to the house, the Quicksilver house, and we were all playing pool. And he comes in, he just walks in, and we were all like sitting, like playing the wall, like on the wall, and we're like, "Oh, hi, Claude, nice to meet you. I'm Chris, or hi, Claude." And then this photographer, Russ Hennings, that would shoot with us a lot, maybe didn't say hi the right way, or didn't shake his
really?
hand,
Like
and Claude
disrespectful?
slapped him right in front of us.
No way.
It was pretty intense. So it was like, and Russ Hennings was a pretty good size, bigger dude, and it didn't matter. It was kind of wild back then. So you definitely need
Dude,
to
that's
like,
fun.
yeah, it was pretty fun. It was fun.
Like,
It was
kind of
crazy.
stressful too.
Stressful, yeah. It was funny, man. But a bunch of good stories from that trip.
Oh, tell some more. Any more? Okay, there's got to be one more.
Okay, one more. So
Yeah.
this is right when energy drinks came out.
Okay.
And so they also, Monster Energy dropped off like cases of Monster Energy, and we there was no such thing at that point. Like, we didn't know what it was. Mm-hmm. And I remember trying to put it in a smoothie. We thought it was like good for us. Like, it's like, oh, it's energy. Like, and I mean, I was.
Your heart gonna explode?
Yeah, pretty much. But we drank those all winter long. It was so funny. We didn't know what they were, and we're just, these are awesome.
Like, how many a day? Like several?
I don't know, probably.
Oh my God.
It was just funny. So we were just dumb kids. And
so how about on the waves now? So now you're living with all these guys.
Yeah.
Is there like a day at Pipe or something where you're just like, I don't really want to go? Like inside, you're saying I don't want to go out.
There was one day. No, usually I was, if it was really big, I would kind of go to some of the easier spots.
Okay.
I didn't go too nuts. We surf off the wall quite a bit.
Okay.
And there was one day I think it got a barrel and closed out, and I was in the inside, and I got stuck. I think it was my first wave. And there was like probably, I'm probably exaggerating, but 20 waves that came in and broke my head, and I was going under, like swimming under and failing my board. And I remember at that spot, you can be like 20 yards from the shore, and you can't go in. Like, it's like there's this like current that keeps you in like this one like spot where you can't really paddle in. The whitewash is too big to get on your board and ride it.
Yeah. So like in the impact zone?
Kind of just impact zone, yeah. And
my God.
Man, I remember I was so out of breath. I was like, oh my God, like I can see the people on the beach here. I can see these people, like the waves breaking in front of me. I thought I was gonna die. I finally somehow just pretty much got washed in with my board.
Oh,
and I remember
I
walked to the beach, went to the house, and I was done for that day. It was.
Anybody say anything? Anybody see it?
No, I don't think so. Maybe.
Okay.
I mean, I'm sure people saw me, but I didn't care. I was like winded, man.
That's crazy.
But it's crazy.
So
over there.
what'd you learn in Hawaii? Like waves are heavy.
Yeah, waves are heavy.
Ocean's no joke.
Ocean's no joke for sure, man. It's scary. Yeah, it can get scary out there. Just the water movement alone.
Okay.
And then learning what boards you should ride. That was like a whole new world for me. Like
What'd you bring with you?
I think I had just pretty much short boards. I might have had one step up, one regular step up, probably a 6'3" or 6'6".
Who was shaping the board? Like different shaper? One guy?
I think I was riding Uncle Mike's at that time.
Okay.
And then I think I had I brought a 7.6 for Sunset.
All right.
And I had I enjoyed that board. And I actually enjoyed Sunset too, but it was scary. Sunset. I went out with that guy Ant-Man.
Oh, so he's like,
he dragged me out one time, and it was because I was there during Christmas, and everyone leaves during Christmas. It was no one.
Right. Which is cool for you.
It was just great.
The beaches are open up.
It was awesome. So I had Christmas dinner at the main house, and everyone would leave, and there was just a couple random people that would stay at the main Cooksover house, and then Ant-Man took me out it might have been Christmas Day or before or after, but we went to Sunset, and it was really good, but it's just big, and you can get these big west peaks, and you have to be you can't just be hanging out there talking to somebody and
you're paying attention.
You're paying attention
for sure.
You're kind of it's like a battle.
A lot of water
moving. And I got a couple good waves that day, but I remember one west set I got caught inside, and I just bailed my board, and it got washed. It was like a 30-minute ordeal of getting it far enough, getting into the channel, paddling back out. I don't know if I even caught another wave after that, but it's scary. I mean, it was. Yeah, I don't even know how big it was.
So you show up on the front door of the Quicksilver house, and you end up staying months.
Yeah,
so that's pretty rad.
Yeah.
So what would they say? They're just cool.
Yeah, they they were kind of questioning it. I think
the whole time.
Well, they didn't know what to say. Oh, it was funny.
That's rad.
Yeah, there was.
Were you just oblivious? They were trying to move you on? And
no, I can kind of tell. I feel like I could kind of tell. They just didn't know what to say. But I think I proved that I was a decent surfer pretty quickly, and I knew a lot of the guys. Shane Magnuson was there, Evan Valier from Kauai was there, and I knew them beforehand. And then we were I was. It wasn't an awkward thing for people that lived there. So we got along with everyone there, and then I think they just realized there was enough room, and if there wasn't enough room, they probably would have booted me, and I've been okay, that's fair, fair enough, right?
Sleep on the porch.
Yeah. But I had my stickers on my board. I think I got a couple photos in the magazines actually from there. So
that's cool.
So and then they did they did some training stuff, and I was like, yeah, I'll do it, and
Okay.
So I was there doing workouts and then eating Hot Pockets for lunch. So
basically, you were on Quicksilver.
Yeah.
If you think about it.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, and then they I think after that they actually started paying me a little bit, so that was cool.
Okay, so that worked out.
For a year. Yeah, so it worked out. It was a big step. I look back and I'm I don't know how I did that, and I'll see Strider and he'll mention it, he'll laugh, like it's just funny. He's like, I can't believe you did. It's almost like I can't believe you just showed up. I'm like, I don't even know what was going through my head.
Dude, you're going.
Yeah, I just going.
That's
it was
rad.
funny, but it was
Would you suggest that today for a random, like one of the high school guys?
Oh,
that wanted to prove themselves?
I wouldn't.
Okay.
I mean,
right.
maybe if you have somebody there, but yeah, it's funny. And then the other, he was like the head marketing. He was Todd Klein.
Okay.
He used to be like
I know the name, yeah.
Todd Klein, and
I think he's a fisherman now or something.
Yeah, he does bass fishing.
Yeah.
But we've crossed paths in the industry quite a bit. But he was, they just laugh at me about it, and it was pretty funny.
So how the previous year, the years after? Did you keep going? Showed up in Hawaii?
Yeah, so I think I went probably the year after a couple times, and then I stopped going for like professional surfing or for that part. But then I started going for work a bunch.
Okay. So who'd you work for?
So I worked for Surf Ride kind of after that or during that time for maybe 5 years.
Okay.
5 years, and then I got Chewy Reyna hired me at Dragon to be kind of his assistant in like surf team marketing, and I was there for a couple years. Then I think I went back to Surf Ride for a handful of years. Like they needed help, and I was like, and I covered some shifts, and then all of a sudden I was there for like 2 years. So so Surf Ride definitely paid my way through.
And they sent you over there?
No,
okay.
no, Surf Ride didn't, but but it was flexible. It was nice, so I could still try to surf, try to be a pro surfer. I think I was taking some college classes, and then I got hired at Spy, and there I did like a bunch of like surf marketing events, and I did pretty much all the surf marketing in the last 3 years of being there. So I was there 5 years, and that's when I worked with John and Alana Blanchard. So I was in Hawaii like 3 times a year.
Okay.
And so that was just
so like
awesome.
Marketing. Like how did you get into marketing? Just
organically. Yeah, organically. Like at Dragon, I kind of did sport like team marketing and worked with the team, some of the younger up and coming kids on the team, and then the guy that hired me at Spy, he worked at Dragon, and he remembered me having like funny, great marketing ideas.
Okay.
And so he was like,
"So with no
job."
Background, you just started having like your own ideas."
We're just doing stuff. Yeah.
As a server.
Yeah. Okay. So at Dragon I was doing more like I'd do surf team, but we would do stuff in stores. And so I got hired at Spy, and I was doing event marketing. So that's where my event background came from. Okay. And so we were doing everything. So at Spy, we were doing snow, moto, and we just kind of helped put on the events for the division managers. And then I think after 2 years, I took over like the surf portion, and then the outdoors portion, which is like fishing. But yeah, man. So during that, I mean, that was awesome. I got to travel so much, to Hawaii like 3 times a year, and try to put sunglasses on John's head at contests. And it was
so
fun.
you were just like when you
doing
got
photo
out of the heat?
shoots. Yeah.
Like literally, that was your job.
And then trying to do photo shoots with wrangling him around is pretty tough. And
is it?
A lot of I mean they have a lot of top surfers they want to do it their way, and the company wants to do it its own way, and you kind of have to compromise
find the middle
and figure it out. So it's a busy time for a lot of pro surfers. So at least during the winter. So
so they getting pulled in so many directions, and they gotta find the right spot.
You totally understand, but we got it. We always get it done, and so I'd create all the kind of the whole ad campaign and around their signature sunglasses and all the photo shoots and make sure we were ready to go to market.
And then so how's John as a person? Can you say?
He's awesome. Yeah. John's awesome.
Okay.
John and all the brothers are awesome. He's like
kind of mild mannered.
Yeah, super mild.
So what we see in the magazines, or no more magazines anymore, but what you see maybe the social media of him is kind of really him.
Totally. Yeah.
Okay.
For sure. He doesn't.
He's not.
And that's what's cool about him. He just doesn't. He just wants to do it the way he wants to. He does. He doesn't. He takes pride in the way he does stuff and what he likes to do, and he definitely doesn't fake something for a product or a company.
That's cool.
Yeah, he's definitely true to kind of like what he believes, and which is really cool, because you see a lot of, if some company's like, oh, I'll pay you $50,000 to wear this whatever monster hat or something you're not really into, or you don't think it's good for you, or I don't know, it's just something you wouldn't normally do. A lot of people still do it, but I think John's someone that kind of has the stature too to just kind of say, no, I'll do this or do something.
Or he's not into that and he turns that away?
Yeah.
Okay, so then, how many? So you're saying there are some fake surfers out there?
No, not fake surfers, but
Not
you
fake,
gotta,
not surfers themselves, but like personality-wise. There's two different... You don't have to say no names.
No, they probably ham it up a little bit for sure.
Okay.
Some, yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. I think, but overall, I think surfing is pretty
Pure?
pretty pure. Yeah.
Okay.
Like there's very few that are like just doing something they don't want to do to make a living. I would say everyone kind of sticks to not being too boastful or not going out of their way to create a scene. You know, there's a handful, but I think most of the top ones.
So since you're in the industry too, do you think surfers like in, let's say the 80s or even 70s,
yeah.
there really was no pro surfing in the 70s, but let's say like mid 80s, kind of like when it really started taking off.
Yeah.
There was more personalities in surfing. Do you think there's less so, like it's more homogenized now?
No, I think there's still a lot.
Is there?
Yeah. I'm trying to think who's
who's different. Well, that guy Zeke, but he's not.
Oh yeah,
he's not on
just
the WSL or anything though. Either.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe on tour there's less.
Yeah, okay.
But I think
what I meant.
Yeah, for sure. But that just comes with
professionalism.
And how professional it is now.
Okay.
And how much money they're making and how important it is, like, and how much responsibility they have to sponsors and to themselves. Really, I mean, you have a bad year and you're off the tour, and
especially now.
Yeah, it's just, you can lose all your sponsors. So back then, I think 80s, 90s it was more of a party tour, and everyone kind of knew each other, hung out with each other, and had fun along the way. And where I think that the pros now are pretty focused, like they're not screwing
They're
around.
like real athletes.
Yeah.
So like when you were kind of in the middle,
yeah,
at the age bracket,
yeah.
Like, so like early 2000s,
yeah,
it was kind of starting to go this direction.
I think it was right in the kind of when it started moving towards like people training and people. Yeah, more focused for sure.
So like Aki playing pool and drinking beers, that was really Aki.
Yeah.
And that's probably a couple years after his like world title too, right? So he was, and he came back.
Yeah.
And then he almost made it like. So anyhow, long story short is, I don't know. I just seem like Aki seems real.
Yeah,
he's had so many different personalities.
Yeah, I mean, I hung out with him one night. But,
I know. But I'm just using him as an example. Like today, I don't know. I'm asking you because you're kind of in that mix, and you don't have to say.
No, I think there's, at least today, I think there's a lot of different avenues that people can go and surfers can go where, maybe a lot of those guys on tour in the 90s, 80s that was just the only way to make money, so that's why they were on tour. There wasn't, there wasn't ways to make money, doing movies or, like there is today. So I think today people get more of a choice and they can kind of focus on like what they actually want to do, and what they're really good at.
Okay. Anything else about that? About just being in the industry and being a pro surfer too?
Yeah.
Like, is there anything else you want to talk about that? Is there anything else left? I think you kind of answered all the questions.
I mean, I had fun for the handful of years I was getting paid.
Was it stressful or was it fun?
No, for me it was purely fun. Like
cool.
When I made money, I was sponsored by Reef.
Okay.
Quicksilver, then Reef. And
enough
Reef,
to live on? Is that a personal question?
No. I wouldn't say it was enough to. Maybe borderline. Probably not enough. I think I was working.
Young.
I think I was working at Surf. I was pretty young.
Okay.
But I think I was working at Surf Ride at the same time, like kind of off and on.
Okay.
So I was scratching for sure. Mm-hmm. But
you got to surf every day.
I got to surf a lot, and I got to do fun stuff around the country, and yeah.
Okay.
So.
And then let me ask you another question about since you're in the industry. A lot of these guys don't have stickers on their board anymore. Even the top WSL guys.
Yeah.
Or the QS guys are like, there's a lot. And the companies have kind of pulled back.
Yeah.
Do you have any thoughts on that or why that's happening? Or do you have no clue?
Yeah. So I would say the reason why is because, one, when everyone was sponsored, surfers were running the companies.
Okay.
Ex-pros and surfers.
Sure.
And also now there's probably a lot more data and a lot more people looking at that data that aren't surfers that say this is more important and this doesn't make us money and this does, and I think that's kind of a good thing for the companies and also a bad thing because the direction starts going away from why I guess surfers started these companies in the first place.
Yeah.
So I mean, you hear like when you're in the surf industry or any industry, you hear about culture being a big thing, and I think you lose a lot of that when you start having investors come in and telling you what to do and telling you how to spend your money, and they go, well, why is this guy getting paid? And you're like, well, he's just, well, he's a great guy. Well, where's his exposure? Where's his, who does he reach? What does he sell? And then, you start losing those sponsorships and kind of the money that doesn't really, reflect on the bottom line and on those spreadsheets. So
yeah, but a lot of these companies are. I'm just looking purely for your thoughts, for your inside information.
Yeah,
some of these companies don't even exist anymore. Like Hurley, like where's that at?
Well,
or Vulcan's like
like
minor
soap.
now. So I think like Men's Care or something.
Yeah.
So that was a huge name.
Yeah, it's. I think it all turns out start going, kind of not the wrong direction, but a different direction when you start getting investors and people that are not surfers telling you what to do. I mean, the mom and pop companies seem to, they're not growing at a rapid pace, but they're enjoying what they're doing, and then people see it as more of like a surf company rather than. I think now Hurley and Volcom, or maybe not Volcom, I try to actually separate myself from the surf industry these days, like as far as like that stuff. So I don't even, I don't really look at surf magazines or.
Well, there's no such thing anymore.
Or surf, I don't, like on like any of the websites, like I kind of stay away, but it seems like,
I'm just asking you because you were like, at that period of time you were working for these companies.
Yeah.
It kind of started happening what you're talking about.
Yeah.
That's why I'm asking.
Yeah, I was in the middle of it. So, so there was just, I think when I was in the industry, I feel like everyone was basically at their job for like 4 years. Like there was like, people would you get an investor, they pump in a bunch of money to the company, they go, we're going to do this, we're going to market here, market there. And then, life is good. And then 2 years come by, our marketing investments aren't really hitting, aren't really showing on the sales side. Okay, we'll start cutting stuff, and then basically people would just jump to another company or job, and whoever's got the newest investor with all the money. But it just seemed like none of that ever worked, and so there was a lot of businesses kind of just going up and down and almost disappearing and coming back, and then even some of the big Quicksilver. Yeah,
they wanted to
they went bankrupt and then sold. Yeah, so it's just kind of a crazy world, and that was kind of my motivation to get out of there and start doing something else, working for myself. But
so what's your job now?
You
want to talk about it?
Yeah, I sell real estate. Yeah, I'm a real estate agent.
I know that. I'm just throwing that out there.
Yeah, man. I started 3 years ago, pretty much to the day. I think it was November 11th, 2 years ago when I got my license. Great, man. I love it. It's like
you can tell all your info if people want to contact you.
Yeah.
If you're looking for a house,
if you want to sell or buy. No, I love it. One, because I feel like in the action, and probably in any industry, you work so much or you do so much, and you're not the things you want to do. A lot of times, if your boss or you can't do them, and then also when you do something awesome, it's kind of like there's no bonus or no reward or no, just kind of, so you're just kind of just doing it, and it's just, I feel like it was just really repetitive, and a lot of times you'd have to do stuff you probably didn't want to do to move forward in a company. Yeah. And
the motivation wasn't there?
Yeah, it wasn't there. And I like being creative. I like kind of doing stuff my way, and that could be a fault, but that's just kind of who I am. And so when I got my real estate license, I really just enjoyed being flexible, being my own boss, and kind of reaping all the rewards of what I was doing.
Okay.
But now, business has been great. I got a little kid. I got a 2-year-old boy named Lalo. He's super fun and wild and growing every day. And that job, being an agent and not being in the office, 9 to 6, I could see him. And so that'd be crazy to think that I'd be, some people are in an office that long and you wouldn't be able to see their kid only, early morning or late night. So, but yeah.
And then real estate helps surfing.
Yeah, exactly.
I surf a lot. Windows, right?
I surf a lot. It's funny. I feel like a lot of people are probably like, "Oh, this guy doesn't work at all," or this guy's always surfing, or he's like, his car's always home. I work from home more or less. But yeah, it's definitely flexible, and I love that. But I'm also I feel like I do most of my work probably after 6 p.m.
Okay.
when people get home and writing contracts and stuff.
Yeah.
So that works for me, and my lifestyle, and I get to do everything else I want. So it's great, man. I love it. I wish I did it earlier.
You want to tell them how to get a hold of you? Is there a website?
I have an Instagram.
Instagram? Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Oh yeah. What's your Instagram handle?
It's I think it's Mr. Chris Abad.
Okay.
I think I haven't looked it up in a while. Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, it is Mr. Chris Abad.
Okay.
But yeah, I think another reason why I love it is because I get to help people, and that's kind of what I enjoy. I mean, through coaching and through just kind of just helping people, giving them good information, being honest. Those are a couple things or a few things that I really like that mean a lot to me,
okay.
and I think that means a lot to people. So hopefully, like everything I do translates to everything else I do with in work or whatever. So
you're trying to buy a house and the neighborhoods are changing. How's that? How's being in real estate in Oceanside or in Southern California for that matter?
Well, everyone wants
right
to
now.
move. Everyone's moving, has moved, or wants to move to Oceanside. So
right.
it's
good.
It's good for business, crazy for the Oceanside world. I'd say it's pretty wild. I mean, I tell everyone, like, so I live next to Buddy Todd Park, so we're always walking in the park, walk the dogs.
Yep.
And every time we're out, we see a new young couple, new dog, somebody walking their dog. We're like, who's this? Where are they?
Yeah.
So it's crazy.
And you've lived there for a long time, so you knew the whole neighborhood.
Yeah, I've been in the house I think 16 or 17 years.
Yeah.
And then I just grew up down Mesa, down the street, more inland. So yeah, I've seen it change dramatically.
So how do you like the change, or you dislike the change? What's your thoughts on the Oceanside changing?
Well, I do like some things. I mean, I like that it's becoming nicer. I mean,
okay. Less chance getting mugged or what?
Well, so when I was younger, until like 5 years ago, we wouldn't go out to eat or drink or hang out in Oceanside. You go to Carlsbad and see this. And that's just the way it was. And girls and people from down there wouldn't come up here. It just wasn't a thing. You just wouldn't happen. And now everyone's coming here, and you can go out and you have stuff to do. And
it's like Coast Highways.
Yeah, it's Coast
totally
Highways popping. Yeah, so it's like. That's a really cool thing, I think, and I think the community deserves that. To be proud of like Oceanside for the restaurants and for the bars and the locally owned businesses, and I think that's super cool and important. And that's always going to bring more money coming into the town. It means more development and more stuff you might not like big hotels in front of the
yeah. What's your thoughts on that? Do you have thoughts, or you don't have to say?
Yeah. I mean,
there's so many different.
I don't mind it really.
Okay.
I think it's gonna happen. I mean, Oceanside's one of the last affordable places in Southern California. It was. Yeah. I mean, it still is compared to if you're comparing it to other places.
Yeah.
So that, a lot of young people are moving into town, but I think the hotels, I think they've done from what I've seen, a fairly decent job actually with hiring local people and actually looking decent. But it's definitely weird driving through there and seeing that. I think the big thing that hopefully they would focus on, and the business would focus on, is the beach replenishment.
Oh yeah.
Which I think is, I think they went backwards on, building all these things and then not having the main
beach
attraction.
Yeah.
For why they would build there. They're not building there because they want to be on a lake. They want a beach so they can walk into the ocean. So
what do you think about the jetties, the SOS guys? Are you for them or against them?
I'm for jetties.
Okay.
I'm 100%. Well, I guess let's say this. I'm for an answer. I think that we need to do something. I think the jetties or groins is probably the best answer I've seen. I actually just saw this morning a picture of what they want to do.
Oh, really?
I think the jetties are too long.
Where'd you find that at? Just so you know.
Jason Bennett sent it to me. And somebody, I think he got it from maybe Jamie Stone.
Okay, all right, cool.
It's just like an image of what they're drawing of what they want to do. And
all right.
I think the jetties are too close and too many.
Like closer than Newport?
No, I don't think they're closer than Newport.
Okay.
But I mean, Newport's not that great. I mean, it gets fun.
But it has a long beach.
Yeah, it's big.
30th Street kind of sucks in that middle.
Yeah, but I think to solve the problem the one thing you don't want to do is do something too drastic and then all of a sudden ruin waves.
So you think they should start doing
So I think they need to just pop one or two.
Okay. Where would you put them?
I would say you do
Tyson?
one maybe like Buccaneer or Oside Boulevard.
Okay.
Around there.
Yeah, there's no sand there.
No sand, which sucks. I mean, I used to hang out there all summer.
Oh, yeah,
and now
yeah,
you pretty much can't.
Yeah.
and then I would say Oceanside Boulevard, just not even a big one, just a little one.
Okay.
And then maybe Wisconsin.
All right.
I would say that would do it. I mean,
But there's no sand basically from Wisconsin to
basically
past
from
Cassidy.
Tyson.
Really?
Yeah,
That's
like,
why I said Tyson. Too. Well,
Yeah.
Tyson's a little bit, but rocks.
Yeah,
okay.
rocks. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
But I would, if
So
I
the
was,
jetty would stop from the northwest swells, right?
Yeah.
You'd bring the sand, it would stay, so then it would build the sand
yeah,
out
build
further?
the beach. Yeah.
Okay.
Like it kind of used to be. I think if I was in charge of that, I would probably just make a couple small ones and see how
Okay.
wait a couple years and see how the sand moves and kind of go from there and learn from that rather than just going, okay, we're putting eight jetties like every other street, because I mean that I feel like that is something that could maybe destroy some waves or have waves stop working, and we don't want that.
Okay.
So, but yeah, I think there needs to be some kind of answer.
Yeah, because they used to throw the sand all the way down there.
Yeah.
Past Tyson. It
Yeah,
stops.
so they. I was told that they one of the houses down there, the one that has like on the strand that has like the dolphins mural on the
Okay,
side.
yeah.
I heard they had a cracked slab, and they blamed it on the vibration of the pipes that were pumping the sand. I don't know if that's true or not. That's what I heard.
So that's why they stopped it?
and so they
Really?
sued or brought it
Wow.
up, and so now they don't go that far. So.
Okay.
And then this year there was usually they pump sand on south side, and I heard they
Yeah.
stopped because there was some either grunion or birds in the rocks on the south side of the pier.
Oh, okay.
So they couldn't pump
environmentally
sand there.
reasons why?
Environmentally, yeah.
Okay. So do you ever go to city council meetings or anything?
I've gone to, I think, 2.
Okay.
Gone to 2. I try to follow as much as possible.
Okay.
I mean, it's a lot of
There's a
involvement.
lot.
It's a lot.
It's
It's
a
a
lot
lot of
going
stuff
on.
too. When I see something that interests me or I feel it's important to the community and the community I'm involved with, I'll
Okay.
try to be as involved as possible.
Yep.
And yeah. So, but yeah, it's a lot of work, man. If you're,
Oh, you're already, and your hands are already like
yeah.
in so many other things in Oceanside.
For sure. But I have a friend that's a city council member, so I like to, if I have a question or want to
Okay.
hear the inside scoop, I kind of give him a jingle and
All
see
right.
and see what's going on.
And how many city council members actually surf?
One I know of, just one. Yeah.
Right. So that's kind of strange too. Well, now they're doing the regions or whatever, so
Yeah.
it makes more sense. But still, with such a high population of surfers,
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
these politician guys.
Well, I think as long as you have one in there that kind of has
Can-
a surfer's side and
Yeah.
maybe background, I think that's
Rad.
good.
At least we have one, yeah.
But I'd say that's kind of one of the reasons why we started Oceanside Board Riders, is to become kind of a voice for the
voice,
community.
for sure, yeah.
Because if you have one surfer, a couple surfers complaining or saying something, it's not going to really do much. But if you have a community and a club that people are paying to be a part of, and
Yep.
and we have a unified voice on something that comes up, or or just want to show support to something,
Okay.
that I feel like that means a lot more.
Yeah, for sure.
And so that's kind of something we want to be in the future, just to kind of be the voice of the community, the surf community.
Do you know how many members there are?
I don't.
That's a lot, though, right?
I think a lot. Yeah, we're gonna sell memberships for 2022.
Okay.
So we've sold memberships the first year we started, and we haven't sold any since. So I think we were originally we were going to try to sell memberships once a year.
Yeah, like an annual thing.
Yeah,
like
annual
most
thing.
clubs.
And then COVID kind of canceled
Yeah.
all that stuff. So we're trying to reboot it. So we'll sell memberships again. Then I'll get a number for you. But
Okay.
I'm guessing probably like 200 to 300
Yeah, probably.
paid members.
Yeah.
But I mean, I know a lot more people come to the events and support in other ways. So
Yeah.
we have a pretty good reach.
Yeah, no, awesome.
Yeah.
Anything else on Oceanside going on? This turned into Oceanside centric.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool, though.
Yeah. Man, what else is going on in Oceanside? Just a lot of people coming here to surf.
Okay, so what do you think about the outsiders? What do you think of localism? Do you have thoughts? You got to be honest. If you don't want to say, you don't have
No,
to.
I'm always honest. I think it's fun. So
Fun meaning what?
fun meaning, so I take pride in Oceanside.
Okay.
I love to heckle and poke at anyone that is not from Oceanside that surfs here a lot. And I have a lot of really close friends that surf the pier all the time.
Yeah.
And I surf
they're
with
regulars.
them, and they're regulars, and they're not from Oceanside.
Okay.
So, I mean, whenever I can, I'm going to poke at them and joke with them. Like real like localism or like the old school localism, I think is a little bit kind of, it's old school.
Much?
A little too much. I mean, if it's based off of just, there's too many surfers and there's surfers from other places coming to surf your spot. I don't know how far you go with localism, but if people are, acting inappropriately in the water or dangerous, then I think people need to be told what to do, what's safe, what's not safe, in a reasonable manner, But I'm more reasonable than a lot of people, so.
Okay. Yeah. So, how does that? What would you say if someone's ditching their board? I mean, that can't happen.
So my favorite thing is this. So like if I get snaked or get snaked twice, usually I give somebody the benefit of the doubt.
Okay.
And then if they start bugging me again or start getting in paddling a lot or
but you surf good, so there's probably not a lot of guys snaking you. Unless they're clearly oblivious.
No, not too often. But when it does happen, or even when it happens to a friend.
Okay.
But usually if somebody snakes, I'll tell them, hey, I saw you surfing that wave in front of me. You're a good enough surfer to know you shouldn't be snaking someone.
Oh, you're good.
Like, did you not see me? What's up?
Yeah.
And usually that, me telling them they're a good surfer or a good enough surfer to know, they kind of like, oh, okay, you're right. Like, I kind of blew it. Instead of getting like really defensive, I usually try to
that's pretty smart, actually.
flip it on them a little bit, just to be like, don't be doing that. What are you doing? You know what you're doing. You're a good surfer.
Yeah.
Or
Okay.
So that's usually how I attack it, but. And then, it's in the summertime, you get a lot of beginners, and I usually just kind of point out to them, hey, you know what, this is, you're kind of dangerous. You should go down where no one's at, because less people to hurt, and keep it simple. Don't get too freaked out.
That's super nice of you.
Yeah.
I don't think everyone's like that, but that's nice of you.
No, I try to be nice, man. I want to be a friend of everyone, and not really like, I'm not a person to ruffle feathers, really.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll tell you the truth, but I'm usually not going to try to pick a fight or yell and scream or anything like that, because I don't know. I don't feel like that doesn't do too much other than make you look like a crazy person or something. Yeah. So,
actually, I have another question I just thought of.
Yeah.
What do you think about shouldn't they open the beaches up more to surfing in the summer? Everything's blackballed almost now.
Really?
You get 100 feet.
Yeah, I guess
from the piers. On both sides of the pier, and then South Jetty, they give you 50 yards, or not even 50 yards.
Do they kick people out, or do they tell people?
Oh yeah.
Do they? I always surf. I surf always close to the pier, or I've never had an issue with it, so I don't know.
You go to Tower 2, it's blackballed.
Yeah, I guess I've never really realized that.
So if you got a good left from the second peak over, you're going to be in blackballed area.
See, I'm a creature of habit, man. I surf. I
so
surf
you don't
next
pay
to the
attention.
pier. No, I don't.
Okay.
I surf next to the pier. I surf
enough.
North Jetty. I'll surf the Rock or somewhere down there.
Yeah, even South though used to be they didn't blackball it, but now they blackball it all.
Really?
Yeah. So you kind of gotta go I'm not gonna say where, but there's a couple spots where there's no lifeguard tower.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll just wave at the lifeguard. And what are they gonna do?
I don't know. I just thought about that.
Yeah, that's funny.
Okay. And then what about besides surfing? Is there anything else you do? Well, it seems like you're so busy. You probably don't have time.
I golf.
Golf?
I love golf. Yeah. Well, I hang out with my kid a lot.
Okay.
We try to do fun stuff, but I've been golfing.
Yeah.
More than the last couple of years, which I really enjoy. But that just takes a lot of time.
Yeah.
And it's hard to get good. It's expensive.
Which one's cheaper, golfing or surfing?
Surfing for sure.
For sure, yeah. All right.
But golfing, I mean, Oceanside has some pretty inexpensive courses.
Yeah, that's a lot.
It's probably cheaper to golf here than anywhere, which I'm happy about. And I live close to 2 golf courses that are fun and easy, and you can wear a t-shirt.
Okay.
So yeah, I love it. I wish I was better. I'm working on it.
All right.
Yeah, if the waves aren't good, I try to golf, and then
you can do it around your business.
What was that?
You can golf around your business too.
Yeah, exactly. Bring some clients out, or just always have my phone on me, so I feel like I'm always taking calls in between. But you gotta do what you can.
And how many boards you have?
Right now, too many. I probably have about 20 boards.
Right. Riding them all? Or are there 10 of them just kind of sitting there? Maybe not your big boards, like your everyday boards.
Yeah, I don't ride my big boards too often. But I only have probably 2 or 3 step-ups. Okay. I don't have too
crazy of a
step-up quiver. Sorry?
Where are you riding those at? Like blacks?
Yeah, I don't surf flats too much. Usually Mexico.
All right.
I'll go down to like the Rosarito area, or I'll I try to go on a surf trip once a year.
Okay.
So maybe like if I go to Nicaragua and it looks like a bigger swell, or
You checked the swells before?
what was that?
You checked the swells before?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just figured it out, but I just kind of have them sitting in there. But I ride a lot of my boards. I usually put about 3 boards in my truck before we get on the beach.
Oh, smart.
And so I'll like the last 4 days I've surfed 3 different boards.
Oh, cool.
So I switch around a lot.
Does that help your surfing? Or do you pick the boards for the waves? Or do you want to
I just pick the boards
kinda
for the waves.
switch up? Do you understand what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
Get a different feel?
Yep. So lately I've been ordering and buying boards that are like definitely different. I've been messing around with some twin fin stuff, which is fun. Small wave, usually small wave shapes, but I've been riding quite a few different boards. Like before I would just ride like one standard board. Then I started riding like small wave short boards. Okay. And now I have kind of a little bit of everything.
All right. Are you sticking with one shaper, or are you going like...
Yeah, so I've had mostly, I'd say almost 90% of my boards are chemistry. Okay. Jason's made me boards, or chemistry's made me boards for a long time. Probably like, I don't know, since, a long time. Yeah, probably about almost, 15 years since they started, really. But,
and then when you order a board from them, is it like same old? Or do you you talk to Jason or Willie and just say, hey, I want to do something a little different?
It's usually the same with them. I ride like 3 models from them. It's pretty standard. I just ordered something different from them.
Were they shocked?
No, he was excited, I think. But yeah, so I have a couple other boards. I got a Wally Puha. Oh yeah, because Wally used to shape my boards when he worked at chemistry. He shaped a lot of them, but I was kind of competing. Yeah. So I love Wally. I love him. He's a great dude.
Yeah, dude, Wally's the best.
So I just got a board from him. I picked up a couple used boards, random ones that are like just funky ones I want to try out. So I've been really intrigued by riding for the winter when it's like high tide in the mornings and offshore and kind of like rollier. I've been intrigued with riding like bigger boards, actually.
Like mid-length?
Not quite mid-length, but like I just got I think it's like a 6.0, and it's kind of like I don't even know how to explain it. Like it's a thruster, but I'm probably gonna ride like a 2+1. But it's just like a little bulkier and almost like if you just mixed a fish with a shortboard kind of.
Okay, cool.
So it's kind of somewhat of a hybrid. Okay. But still kind of a narrow nose, but then kind of straight out line.
Kind of glide through the middle.
So you can kind of glide. Still you can turn and hit the lip, but something you can kind of glide through those fatter sections. Rad. I know. So I'm definitely exploring.
Like you're getting older, and that's why you're doing this. Why are you doing this?
Probably, yeah. I'm like,
are you bored?
I'm like 10 pounds overweight, and I'm a little bored too, I'd say. Yeah. Like, I just want to go fast. Okay. Like, I want to go do, I'm not worried about like spinning my board around and doing reverses as much as I am like going fast and carving hard and getting barreled. And
okay, so you still want to do the same things, but you want to change it up too. The same, like you're just getting older, more mature.
Yeah, more mature, more focused on certain things. But yeah, man, I mean, I definitely think the older you get, or the older I've gotten, the more I've wanted to explore with boards. Okay. When you're doing contests and you want to just dial in one thing and be good at that one thing. Yeah. But now it's like I just get to do whatever I want and have fun and try to get out and try to get. If I was riding a shortboard, I wouldn't have probably surfed this morning. So I rode my 5.1 weird little fish skimboard thing.
Did you have fun?
Yeah, and it was a great time. Yeah.
Now, what about your the family life and surfing? Yeah. Are you guys doing beach days or?
Yeah. We did beach days during the summer.
Is your son getting in the water?
He's scared of the water.
Is he?
He's scared.
And you're not pushing him?
No, I don't really care. Yeah. He's not scared of the water. He's scared of the ocean with the waves. Yeah. I've put him on a soft top and longboard and rode some with him a few times, but he's pretty freaked. So I'm sure next year he'll probably be a little more open. Like even throughout the summer, you can tell he was better with going in the water closer to it. Okay. But we have a spa. We swim like every night. And he'll go under and dunk and he'll laugh and
so he's not afraid of water.
He's not. He's just afraid of the ocean and the waves crashing. I think.
Don't push him.
No, we're good. We're gonna. Yeah, we'll be by the beach a lot, so he'll figure it out.
Yeah, I think it kind of naturally happens, right?
Yeah.
Did you get pushed?
I don't remember.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't remember at all. Okay. I think we just.
I mean, pushed as in like you need to get in the water. That's what I mean.
No. Okay. No, I don't think so.
All right. Yeah. Would you be bummed if your son didn't surf? That's a hard question to ask.
I'd probably be bummed a little bit. I wouldn't be bummed at him. I'd be like, I'd be like, okay, well, I'm going on a surf trip and you don't want to come? Like, what? Yeah. But I don't think that would happen.
So is that your goal? Like one day you guys can go on a surf trip together?
Yeah, we're going to bail Mom and go on surf trips. Yeah, all my friends, two of my good friends have sons. Okay. 3 of them. So they all have boys, so I'm sure we're going to be doing some surf trips for sure.
Do you have any more kids? Is that personal?
No, we're going for another one.
Okay, so if it's a daughter, just as much surf.
I know,
the chicks are ripping.
Chicks are ripping, man. It's
especially
crazy.
Oceanside. I think there's more girl surfers than guys now.
I know, seriously. They're showing the dudes what's up.
Yeah, so you're good there still. Yeah. Yeah. So back in the day.
Yeah.
Well, how long ago was it? You got injured surfing.
Yeah.
It was kind of a. Oh, go ahead. Let you tell it.
Yeah, I.
How long ago was it?
I think it was. And I'm really bad with dates and timelines, but I think it was a 5th year in May. So I think it was 5 years ago, a little over 5 years ago.
Okay.
I broke my neck and back and ribs and everything. So.
And it wasn't a big day, right?
No, it was like head high. It's like head high. They dredged. It was in May. I think they just dredged like a couple weeks before, and it was low tide and kind of like it was like a little wind swell and south swell.
Okay.
So it was really inconsistent, but it was some good waves, like head high, like in kind of barreling and peaky.
Okay.
And
where were you surfing?
We were on south side of the pier.
Okay.
Probably like right in front of the parking lot, like not too close to the pier.
Yep.
So we can I guess I can kind of make it a long story. So that morning I was surfing with Eric Warner. He used to live here, just moved to New Jersey, but we were like, okay, let's go surf. The waves are fun. So it was just, there wasn't many people out. It was kind of hazy, gray morning. There's probably like 10 people out, like across that you could see in the water. So it wasn't
like
crowded
nobody,
at all.
really.
Yeah, pretty much nobody. But I remember putting on my wetsuit and I was like, I almost didn't want to surf for some reason. It was kind of weird. We surfed and I got a couple waves. I think I got 2 waves. And then I got Warner, Eric caught a wave in front, like first wave of the set, and I caught the second one, and I pulled in and got barreled basically the whole wave.
Wow.
Like from outside to inside. And I jumped off my board forward and kind of like, which I do all the time, and kind of like body surf and just let the wave kind of roll you, and then you're, yeah. So pretty standard. And then I woke up underwater thinking something was weird, like just something's up. And I was like kind of just floating there, not moving. And I felt like kind of tingly a little bit. And I remember I was like, okay, something's up. And I started like turning my, like egg beating my feet to kind of turn. And somehow I knew where Eric was. And I did like a 180 underwater. And I came up and I saw him. And I went to yell his name, and the wind was knocked out of me, and nothing came out. It's like, couldn't say anything. So I took a breath in, and finally I was like, help, Eric, help. And he was right there. He finished his wave. He rode his wave farther. And finally I could kind of like talk and got my breath, and he came and paddled up to me, and I was like, hey, something's up. Like I think my back, neck, something's weird. And we kind of just discussed. It felt like a while, like we were trying to figure out what we should do, like either paddle out or go into the beach. And I learned, and I don't know where I learned it, but basically you don't want to, once you go on the shore, if somebody's supporting you the wrong way, you can move your neck and move stuff around that can, really hurt your spinal cord.
Wow.
And move that around. So I knew the water and like a board and the water, the flotation would actually support my neck, and it'd be kind of a safe thing to do as long as we could get out without having to go through waves. And so we basically looked outside and said, okay, there's no waves. It was a south swell, so it was kind of inconsistent. And he put me on his board. His board is bigger, and I laid on my back, and he kind of like pushed slowly like out. And I think we yelled for help, or he yelled for help, and a couple other guys came by. And one guy randomly had like a soft top, like some bigger soft top, and then we kind of rolled on, kind of somehow got on that, shimmied me on that, and somebody called the paramedics and the lifeguards, and the lifeguard boat came and drove over from the harbor. So we basically waited out in the middle, of the water of the ocean and waited for that boat to come, and then they loaded me up, and that was It's probably like 30 minutes. It was kind of a long. It felt like a long time.
What were you thinking the whole time?
I was just sitting there in pain. So it was crazy, like worst pain ever.
Was it painful?
It felt like I had a football attached to in between my shoulders, like a big bump, like a football of like all my muscles just felt like they just all went to that spot, like in between my neck and my shoulder blades. And it just felt like it was just the weirdest thing. It seriously felt like I was laying, like if you just laid on a football.
Okay. Yeah, I know.
But it was just pain, like crazy pain. And that didn't kick in till like I started, like till I got on the board, one of the boards, and then they picked me up. They put like that neck brace on me, and they put me in the boat, kind of like lifted me up the side, I think.
Rippy.
And then I got in the boat, and then a friend from high school was in the boat. He's a lifeguard, and then they were driving me to the harbor in the boat, and they were like checking to see if I had feelings in my toes, and I was telling them I could feel it, but I think if I can remember correctly, I think I couldn't feel it. Like I was like, oh yeah, I feel it, and they were like, I think they were like, no, you can't. You know? But basically, it was super painful. But then so I got in an ambulance once we got to the boat dock, and then they drove me to the airport right here, Oceanside Airport, and then Life Flight came and grabbed me. But that was like an hour ordeal, and then I got the Life Flight to La Jolla, and then I was there for a weekend. It was Mother's Day.
Wow.
It was Mother's Day, and then I think I had my surgery. So it was a Saturday, I think, and I had my surgery on Monday. So I was in a coma, had pins, had.
They put you in a coma, or you went into a coma?
Yeah, I think it was
induced.
Yeah, induced.
Okay.
I had pins in my skull. I had like the full-on halo.
Yeah.
For the weekend, because the best surgeon, or the surgeon they wanted, was coming in Monday.
Okay.
But basically, I shattered my top 3 vertebrae, C1, 2, and 3.
Wow.
I fractured 7 ribs, and I think 4 other vertebrae in my lumbar.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so I got beat up. So it was crazy. I was in the hospital for a couple weeks, but like it was crazy. It went from basically like you might not be able to move your neck, walk, drive, to 2 weeks later I was walking and I went home. It was a trippy, like, you know, you didn't know what was going to happen. It was pretty wild. So
I got some questions.
Yeah, throw them out.
You can answer these if you want.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so initially, what'd you think after you got on the boat? Like, you knew you were in serious shape.
Yeah, I knew something was up with my neck or back, yeah.
But were you calm? Were you, like, panicking?
Yeah, I was pretty calm. No, it's funny. I was not panicked at all the whole time.
Wow.
At no point.
Even if you were in the water for half an hour, that seems like a super long time.
No, I don't think I was panicked, man. I was never too, like, I never had a thought that I was going to be, like, paralyzed.
And all those guys stayed with you the whole time?
Yeah, until I got in the boat, yeah.
Wow, that's cool.
But it was funny. I mean, I don't think it's funny.
No.
It's not funny. But I grew up religious.
Okay.
And I still am. I believe in God. And I've always like had this like just understanding that like He'll take care of me.
Okay.
I've never like had to.
So would you pray?
Yeah, I was probably praying. I don't remember, but I just always had this I just was calm. Like I wasn't even worried about it.
Okay, cool.
Even in surgery or in the hospital, they're like, oh, you might not be able to drive, and I was like, nah. Like I just never thought of it like as an issue, and all through rehab, which is kind of, maybe that's just the way I am as well. That I kind of like have like believe in myself that I can kind of get through that. But it was crazy. It was wild. I feel, I guess, more bad for like my mom and my family than I did like me. Like I didn't want them to be like super worried and scared.
And how were they?
Yeah, good. My mom was probably pretty shaken up. Same
Do you
with my
remember?
dad.
Like them coming to visit you on the weekend?
Yeah, come visit. Yeah, I remember them coming to visit me.
For a parent. Well, you're a parent now too.
Yeah,
you can relate now.
Yeah, it'd be crazy. So yeah, they were pretty worried. But I think once I like after the first week in the main hospital, they sent me up to the one in Encinitas, Scripps Encinitas, and then I started doing rehab pretty quick.
How was
rehab? Trying to walk.
How was rehab? Like, was it hard?
No, not at all.
Oh,
not
really?
They, it was pretty. The rehab was it slowly just got better and better. Like it never was like a really like difficult time.
Okay.
I mean, I didn't work for a while, or I didn't like go to work for a while, and I stayed at home once I got out of the hospital. Stayed at home for probably like 3 months, and there's a lot of sitting on the couch and relaxing. But I took it as just a time to like just relax, like.
Cool.
And I've had a lot of surgeries. I've had knee surgery, knee injuries, and actually the neck injury to get better from was actually easier than the knee injury.
Oh, okay.
Because you have a brace on, and you can use your arms and legs, and you can shower. Where like when you have a knee injury, like it's hard to like get around. And that was, I think that was like harder for me.
Okay.
And then being a surfer, like you want your legs to work and
Yeah. Oh, that's true too. Yeah.
But the rehab was I was surfing again. I mean, I caught my first wave when I wasn't supposed to, on like a soft top. I couldn't even like lift my head up, and I caught a couple waves at Terramar. I think it was like 5 months in.
So what made you like break the rules?
I just wanted to. I knew.
Okay.
I felt like I was.
You were ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
I felt like I was ready. But then I really started surfing again. Like, I think it was like 11 months on like a reel board.
Okay.
Or like I think I really started like my first paddle out in real session was like I think 11 months, 12 months.
Okay.
So I had about a year
Well, it
off.
sounds like it was a pretty. You almost make it sound like it's positive.
It was, man. There was a lot of stuff I think everything you learn, that happens to you and you learn from and you go through, builds your character, builds who you are. I mean, a lot of friends kind of like, a lot of people came and visited me and cared, and I think something like that always, brings people together. Whether it's, I wouldn't say it's a good way to bring people together, but if you're bringing people together and you're able to, have that support. I felt loved. I'm sure a lot of people felt like they were, loving me back, and that's always a good,
that's
positive thing. And then just kind of getting a second chance at life, really. I mean, they were calling me.
Is that how you took it?
Yeah, for sure. They were calling me the miracle boy at the hospitals. They said they've never seen anyone have those injuries and not have any kind of paralysis. So,
wow.
So
Do you think that was you, or do you think that the surgeon, or do you think it was God? I mean,
I think it was everything.
Combo?
I think it was combo for sure. At that point,
you didn't quit, so that helped.
Yeah, I mean, I was working out a lot before that.
Okay.
For like the first time in my life, which is weird. I've never gone to the gym.
Wow.
And I was going to the gym probably like 6 months before that injury.
Wow.
Which was super weird. Or super good timing.
So
and
all these
weird
things
timing.
just kind of.
Yeah, I mean, I was trusting the Lord to handle that kind of stuff, so I don't have to worry about it. And then, friends, family support, the community, and kind of helped me through it. Yeah, it was a great experience. Like, it was something. I mean,
most people wouldn't say that. It's trippy. I'm just tripping out. I'm sorry.
I just think of it as something that no one else really has gone through. I mean, and I was able to go through it and learn from it, and have those memories and those like the knowledge of what I need to do, or like how how you feel and how you get through something like that. Because I didn't surf for a year. That's hard.
Yeah, I can imagine.
So, yeah, but yeah, man. I mean,
was surfing on your mind the whole time, or were you like, you took that out of the equation?
I just took it out. Like,
okay, cool.
I think when you're injured and you have to get through something like that, or like my knee surgery, like you just have to take it for what it is and like enjoy the other stuff.
Okay,
really.
And you did?
Yeah. Okay. Just make sure
what's the other stuff? Family?
Yeah, family. I mean, I watch movies, whatever it is. Watch movies, read books, like just stuff that you like
that you weren't doing before.
You weren't doing before. Okay. Now you have time for it. But then so I took it as a great thing, second chance at life. I definitely like whenever I think about it, it reminds me like, hey, like I'm definitely like the yes man now. Like I don't. Someone goes, hey, you want to go do this? I'm like, yeah, let's do it. Like I'm not. So I try to do everything, So
how did it change your like that? Your perspective on life?
Yeah, I mean, I was always ready to go. Out of my friends, I think I'm always the one that's like kind of the cheerleader to get everyone motivated, or like I always kind of feel like I'm the person to plan stuff and get people going, doing fun stuff. But now it's even probably more. I don't know if my wife loves that about me, but I'm definitely like, I don't like to just sit around and be stagnant. I like to do stuff and have fun and enjoy life and try to get as much experiences as you can. Because I mean, what are you going to take with you when you're out of here? You're going to take your experiences and what you've left behind with your who you've impacted, and so I think it's a big reason why I'm so involved in the community, or try to be, and want to be, and enjoy it, because the support I got from the community and friends and family, and then being able to just share anything, whether it's right or wrong, just try to help and positively impact anyone. So
Rad, dude.
Yeah,
That's
man.
super cool.
Yeah.
I'm glad we talked about that, because that's not the way I thought it was going to be.
Oh no, it was dude.
Like,
It was
you're super positive. That's kind of.
it was a fun, crazy story,
I don't think I'd
dude.
be
It
so
was,
positive.
Yeah,
Or most people.
It was fun, trippy, weird. I wrote down a lot of the stuff. I have it in my notes or in a document somewhere. Like the story, and it was definitely like it's still pretty vivid, but there were certain things that just happened that was just so weird. Like,
So would you write a book? Could you write a book?
Yeah, I think I have like two. No, it's not a book, but I have like 2 pages full of like just like the story.
Okay.
But I think it was just a lot like, I mean, when something like that happens, you definitely, whether you're religious or not, you definitely feel like there's something else that's not like available to you, that like touches you in ways, or like communicates to you in ways that you don't get that communication.
Wow.
Like in a daily life, right? Like you're not, there's just certain things that kind of happen when you're that close to death, or something like that happens. There's just crazy like euphoric feelings, and yeah, so it's pretty wild. So it's I would say it's a good experience, or it was. I mean, I wouldn't wish it on anyone, because you never know what would happen, but it turned out great for me, and I just lost a little bit of movement in my neck, but I'm still able to do everything I love, and
Yeah, you're ripping.
yeah.
Golfing.
Yeah, so
And okay, so was it the sand you hit, or you don't even know?
so they don't know. So
Yeah, no one knows.
no one knows, man, and which is kind of weird, kind of bums me out, and kind of is exciting, I guess, in a way, just because they said the impact. They said it was like if somebody was going in a car. I think they said like 75 miles per hour and just went through the windshield. And I'm like, well, how fast can you go on a surfboard? Like,
Right.
You go like what, 20,
Maybe.
25 miles an hour, like the fastest.
Yeah.
So I honestly don't know. I mean, it was very shallow, but the way it broke, and the reason why I didn't sever my spinal cord is because they said I hit straight down. So like everything just went out, like exploded from inside out. So I mean, and then I had I think 3 chipped teeth. Like my mouth was numb.
Wow.
So I honestly don't know like how I could fracture all those ribs, all the vertebrae. Like I honestly don't know. And then there wasn't like a bruise on my head or like sand in my hair that anyone noticed. So it was just strange. It really.
So going back to surfing, and do you ever have flashbacks of like that happening?
No.
You don't? That's
no.
cool. That's right.
I have no fear of
No
ever
fear.
doing that again, because it was something I've done thousands of times.
Yeah.
When I've never.
Do you approach surfing different? Like you stay out of the inside now?
No, kind of no, not really. Which maybe I should.
Well, I don't think it's going to happen twice.
Yeah, but I mean, I've jumped, gone, off my board and closed out barrels and body surfed out of barrels or in barrels from a lot.
Yeah.
And I might have hit the bottom like once, like grazed the bottom once or twice before that, maybe, like, but nothing ever close. I mean, I hear people hitting their heads on the bottom, and it definitely happens. But it was just a weird, crazy thing to do that much damage, I guess. And
Dude, thanks for telling that story. It's
Yeah.
totally different than I thought it was going to be.
really,
Yeah. Positivity's kind of right, actually.
yeah, you got to be positive, man. I think it's a key to life. Like if no one wants to be around, or it's not good for you to be negative and think bad things. You got to always think.
You should be a motivational speaker.
I'd probably be bad at the speaking part, but
Right on.
yeah.
You got any final words from Chris? That kind of sums it up, though. Really.
Yeah,
that story.
man.
That's a good way to leave it.
Yeah, I think be positive. I think be positive, and something I always think about is everything you do, whether it's small or big, it's going to affect something down the road in some way. Like it's just everything you do reflects who you are, what you do, and it impacts kind of everything going forward, whether it's small or big. So I always consider that when I'm doing everything I do, and yeah.
Rad, dude. All right. Well, thank you so much for doing the interview.
Yeah, thanks, Mike.
It was really good.
Thanks, appreciate it.
This is Mike and Chris, and we're out of here. Thanks, everybody.
See ya.
Thanks, everybody, for listening. Please follow us on Instagram and follow us on your favorite podcast platform. Give us 5 stars if you listen to us on Apple. And do me a favor and tell a friend that QuiverCast is back. I'd like to thank Glue Factory and Dave Hegstrom for the music. And I'll see you on the lineup.
Compass turning like gyroscope in a water keeps flushing the lake North Pole.
Hey, you guys, Endless Summer box set. This thing is legit. It's authentic, numbered certificate in it. It has a 5-frame film strip from the original print. You will literally own a piece of history. It has a specially minted bronze medallion. Dude, that thing's sick. Okay, there's so much more here. Go to the show notes. There's a link on there. Go check this piece of history out. This thing's rad. Seriously. Smithsonian American History Museum has it. It took 4 years of research with 3.5 in production, all hand assembled. This thing's rad. So much to this awesome box set. Remastered DVD, sharper images than the original film, but dude, this thing's so sick. Link in the show notes.